Here's what we know today. The fire chief and others held another news conference, and they announced that DNA testing is underway to identify the remains of the victims killed in that explosion last week. The Yolo County Undersheriff Coroner said that those results from what's described as rapid DNA testing should be known within the next 48 hours. And while families continue to wait for more answers about their loved ones, we're also learning more about who those victims are.
So we still don't have the official confirmation for the 7 victims, but their family members have now identified 6 of them. We've learned that the 6th victim is Angel Voller. The other victims are Carlos Javier Rodriguez, 3 brothers, Johnny Ramos, Jesus Ramos, and Joel Melendez. And now also a family friend has been telling us that Neil Lee is on that list. And again, he is believed to be the general manager for the fireworks company.
Now, during today's news conference, the Esparto Fire Protection District Chief says that they're transitioning into a law enforcement-based incident. The investigation is headed up by the State Fire Marshal's office, and they couldn't answer specifics about the investigation, such as the point of origin of the explosion, if it was the commercial-grade fireworks or agricultural chemicals or products on the site. KCRA 3 Investigates first reported that this property was only zoned for agriculture and not for fireworks.
Again, this is a incredibly complicated incident and investigation. There are so many layers to this, and given our statements from earlier, we are not the lead agency on this investigation. We've requested the Office of the State Fire Marshal to do that, and so I don't have any comments on the investigation.
Live Copter 3 getting these exclusive pictures of the site today. And CAL FIRE and the National Response Team with ATF were disposing of some of the fireworks that were scattered, unexploded, after the explosion went up initially. So crews dug the trenches. It appears that there were debris in those trenches, and an ATF agent is seen filling the trench with fluid. And then just after 3:30 this afternoon, we could see a fire and some of those fireworks going off in those trenches. Crews had placed what looked like chain link fencing or some other type of metal material to help contain those fireworks. And still, you can see some of the fireworks shooting up into the air. Authorities say that the disposal process does not pose a threat to the community. We should also point out that there are several trenches there on the property. And while the cleanup and the investigation continues, families of the victims want some answers.
And some of the families are now represented by a Los Angeles law firm. KCRA 3's Michelle Bandura has our report from Esparto.
A father reeling in anguish and grief sits and waits at the roadblock.
Tired. Too tired.
Johnny Ramos Sr. lost 2 sons in the deadly explosion, 18-year-old Jesus Ramos and 22-year-old Johnny Ramos Jr. He says they picked up seasonal work at the fireworks warehouse. Their first day on the job, the day of the explosion.
They want work, and this is the first day in the job. That's it.
Ramos and other families continue to camp out, posting signs about their frustrations with authorities and placing candles, flowers, and the victims' favorite treats in a makeshift memorial.
We are really supporting them in a emotional position and then trying to just make sure that they have what they need.
Samantha Ortiz is a Los Angeles lawyer representing 2 of the families.
Right now we're looking into a civil action, which would be negligence, maybe wrongful death, for the fact that so many of these individuals lost their lives.
Ortiz says they're conducting 2 of their own investigations, looking into the workplace conditions before the deadly explosion and what ignited the explosion. She says they're closely watching the agencies conduct their investigations at the blast site.
But I am glad that CAL FIRE has stepped in. Now, it does sound like CAL FIRE may have some more powers of investigation, but none of those questions have been answered for us yet as to what exactly they found or have not found yet.
They're a good kids. They always like to work.
Without any answers from authorities today as to why the deadly explosion happened, the family will continue to wait here and will change the number of days they say they've been ignored and been without their loved ones from 7 to 8. Reporting in Esparto, Michelle Bandura, KCRA 3 News.
And that lawyer also says they'll be watching to see whether criminal charges are filed. We reached out to the Yolo County District Attorney's Office, which says it is providing investigative support and resources, but they wouldn't go into details or discuss any potential criminal charges.